Hello, everyone. My name is Malcolm Rogers. I'm a senior analyst leading research for GlobalData's technology practice in Asia Pacific. Today, we will be focusing in on the retail and e-commerce segment in ASEAN and the drive to connect offline and online retail in our current age of digitization. ASEAN is home to nearly 700 million smartphone users and close to 150 million mobile wallets. There is an immense opportunity for the retail sector to tap into e-commerce and emerging trends like social commerce and the technologies that support them, such as cloud and analytics. With that as a backdrop, I'd like to introduce our panelists today. First is my colleague, Alfie Amir, who works alongside me as a principal analyst covering technology in the ASEAN region. He has a focus of trends across many verticals, including retail. Alfie, can you share with me some key technology trends for the retail sector?
Thank you for the introduction, Malcolm. Retail sector is a very interesting topic. So looking at the key trends, I'm sure all of you have heard about how COVID-19 has positively and negatively impacted businesses across different industries, including the retail sector. So based on our research, as well as some engagements with industry players, I'm just going to recap some of the key trends that are happening specifically in this sector. In the last couple of years, we have seen how important are technologies for retailers. We saw how digital laggard retailers had to shut down their businesses because they were not agile enough to adapt to the new norm. And on the other hand, digitally advanced businesses are doing great and rapidly expanding their business. So technology adoption and digital transformation are among the key trends in the retail sector that we are seeing. And speaking about technology, this would include services such as cloud, analytics, cybersecurity, IoT, and many more. And in our recent study that we conducted with over 50 retailers in the region, about 90% of them have active digital strategy in their organization. And the study also shows that on average, online sales have increased from only 37% of their total sales 2 years ago to over 50% today. And if we go deeper into technologies with wide technology usage and adoption, we can see that businesses now are leveraging technologies to unlock new business benefits. And from here, we can see several other relevant trends such as e-commerce, digital wallet, and gig economy. But I'm not really going into details of this trend. I'm just going to close this question with one of the most important trend that we are seeing recently. And it is sustainability. So as we know, sustainability, it has become a boardroom agenda. Besides, consumers are also becoming more sustainable conscious. They're looking for not only sustainable products or sustainable packaging, but also some initiatives taken by retailers and manufacturers. So this year, in 2022 onwards, we are seeing more and more manufacturers and retailers are embracing sustainability initiatives.
Great, thank you, Alfie. And I mean, that's pretty incredible. Over 90% are already on a digital transformation journey of somewhere along that journey. So it's really happening now in the region. With that, I'd then now like to speak with Edric Khoo, who's our next panelist from SCash, a digital enabler of retailers in the region. Edric, can you tell us how consumer demand and buying patterns in your business has changed over the past 2 years? Specifically with the rise of COVID-19 and the challenges that's presented the industry. I think SCash in particular has had some COVID-19 specific solutions for the retailers. Could you care to share some more on that?
Sure, thanks, Malcolm. Right, for the past 2 years, the transformation, not just in SCash itself, I would say the market is actually transforming with the digital transformations of the requirement. Previously, we are talking about enterprise player, retailers looking into digitalization, innovation solutions. Due to the COVID-19 for past 2 years, this trend has been migrated, or I would say extended to all the middle size or even micro merchants. All right. When you talk about middle size or micro merchants, a lot of them couldn't afford to have a huge investment into the digital transformations like the enterprise does. So AshCash, what AshCash has done is actually we offer out a SaaS model of business for all our clients, all the micro and medium merchants or retailers, to enjoy the technology while doing SaaS models, and that to help them to create a cash flow, so that during this pandemic migration or changes, it does rise. It does help them to build their business throughout the the tough time, and this is how AshCash is actually being transforming ourselves into the market to help them out. And we are glad to have Alibaba Cloud actually behind us as a cloud provider to push this solution throughout the whole market. So not only just that, in the past, when we talk about online sales, we talk about e-commerce, right? During these 2 years, the demand of the e-commerce has been rise up. Things like live streamings options, or even 3D options, or even AR augmented reality options. All these are actually comes into a requirement, and that's where we are handholding our technology together with the platform player, which is Alibaba Cloud here, to deliver all these services to all our clients. Yeah, back to you, Michael.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So it sounds like you're really on the cutting edge of some of those trends, like I mentioned, the social commerce and all those new sort of channels to the market. So I think you touched on this a bit in your initial response, but is this where the business is heading? Is this new model where you're going in the future, or any other comments you have on the future of SCash?
Yes, in fact. Through the digital transformations, this platform is not just retained into a single country. Our future expansion or roadmap is actually to link the worldwide e-commerce network into single platform. All right. For example, in the past, we were talking about to sell product within Malaysia to Malaysia, right? So now we are talking about Malaysia to Thailand, or Malaysia to Singapore, or even ASEAN. And especially we have a new setup, our ICP sector, right, with the 15 country of free trade zone. AshCash is ready for that. We created a marketplace that you can trade within the 15 countries, so that we work together with our, of course, our digital wallet player, right? We have worked with our 3PL, the logistics player, and the local so-called compliances. To make sure that all these are compliant within the trade functions. AshCash will provide the platform for not just enterprise, but all the way to the micro merchants to trade within the zone. Yeah.
So that's incredible. If you're opening up all these new markets to these micro merchants who might not have the resources to even sell beyond to one extra market. So that's really amazing. So I think now we're going to move on and speak to our next panelist, Se Keng from Ali Cloud. And I would just like to hear if you could provide some examples of what you're seeing in the sector, how Alibaba Cloud sees the sector, and can share some of the examples of the work you are doing currently in the retail sector.
Yes, sure. Thanks, Malcolm. Yeah, like what Alfie and Edric has just mentioned moments ago, right? Since the beginning of the COVID-19 outbreak, our lifestyles has been forced to change dramatically, right? Many premises like offices, schools, and shopping malls were shut down, forcing us to stay home. And hence, many businesses have been struggling to survive with their existing business models, which often heavily rely on offline sales, right? This is what we noticed, right? So the brick and mortar, which is the offline retailers, is one of the sectors severely impacted by COVID-19. I think that's a fact, right? And for instance, according to local statistics, the offline retailer sector in Malaysia itself has recorded a 37.8% drop in sales for the third quarter of 2021 compared to the same period last year. And in contrast, just some perspective given, right? The rate of online sales transactions has grown significantly during the same period. Online channels and e-commerce have now become indispensable to the point that all retailers will need to have an online presence to remain relevant and competitive. As we move into the post-COVID-19 era, the shift to digital for retailers is expected to be further accelerated. Retailers have had to embrace digitalization not only for sales channels, but also to support back office operations. And as one of the world's largest retail commerce companies, Alibaba spearheads a new form of retail, merging the best of online and offline retail to promote omni-channel customer experience. We help retailers in their digitalization journey with our vast retail solutions, be it just a traditional grocery store or even a large hypermarket chain. Alibaba Cloud offers solutions for retailers at every stage of their digitalization journey. Just let me give you an example, right? So by leveraging Alibaba Cloud's e-commerce know-how and technical capabilities, we helped Hong Kong-based fresh seafood e-commerce platforms refine its existing solutions. The refined solutions promote much better customer experience while reducing 70% in IT spending. In addition, the solutions also allows the retailer to scale IT resources on demand basis seamlessly, which was not possible previously. Yeah, welcome.
Oh, that's great. So you're definitely seeing the transition of offline to online, and right. and the connection of the two. It's not an abandonment of the physical stores, but rather how they can work together going forward. Great. So I think my next question is going to be to Edric again. So SCash does offer solutions in retail, but I can also see that you're in adjacencies such as food and beverage and hotels. Can you describe some of the biggest changes you're seeing in those sectors, the hospitality and food and beverage?
Yeah, thanks. Yes, in SCash now we are just offering our solution for the retail. We consider ourselves on this pillar. We call it smart solution, right? The word using smart is just it's just a new name for it. So we have our smart F&B and smart hotels solutions. So the smart F&B is actually throughout the so-called buying behavior. For example, in restaurant or even in hawker center, yeah, we are actually utilize our mobile phone, our IoT devices in the environment, so that the QR code technology has been training us, quite easily to you just scan a QR code to make an order. We call it scan to order. So this will simplify the process of the consumer behavior, user experience. In the past, you have to queue up from store to store to buy food, but yet now no more. You just sit on your desk and then you use your mobile phone and order. When the food is ready, you just pick it up through the store. So that one-time purchase, and that's it. You save your time. You use the technology to buy time with your family to sit on the table. This is one thing. And secondly is you're going to have your social distancing during the pandemic. So you don't have a queue between, a short distance, right? So this is the one of the smart F&B solution that we roll out. Not only just for dine-in, you can do takeaway or even delivery, right? And our delivery functions is actually work with the 3PL, the logistic so-called partner. We are offering out a so-called close to zero delivery so-called platform fee of our solution. That's for the F&B. And for hotel services, we are combining both the F&B and hotel services into the solutions. For example, whenever you stay into the hotel, we provide a QR code in the room, a unique QR code for every room. so that you can actually scan a QR code or to place or online services rather than pick up the phone and call, right? Sometimes it takes you forever to answer the customer service call, but now everything is on your mobile phone to do it. And even with the same QR code, you can order the surrounding food because the QR code of the smart F&B is not only working on the table, it's actually work everywhere in the world. I mean, in the area. So as long as we have a geolocation set up, like within the 1 kilometer radius, you can order your food into the room. So that will give an extra miles of hotel services will even a 2 stars or 3 stars hotel to provide a 5-star food, right? So this is something that we are providing it to our local hotel solutions. And through that, we also use our data because we provide real-time data back to all these so-called merchant and users. They know where the users come from and what their behavior is to create a stickiness when this so-called consumer return to the radar, so they know what is the behavior will be. So that is where SCash actually implemented the entire smart solution on this ecosystem, on the smart retail, smart F&B, and even smart hotel. Thank you.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. And I know for one how long those lines at lunchtime can be in the hawker centers. So that's great. But I think that really shows the power of combining mobility, IoT, to provide a new customer experience, a better customer experience, and shows you where the future might be for retail and industries like hospitality and food service. Just a quick follow-up to that. I'm wondering if the changes in your customer base and your customer base needs, is it shaking up your go-to-market strategy at all? Being more digital focused and as opposed to maybe something that was more traditionally physical a few years ago. Has that affected how you're going to the market at all?
Oh yes, indeed. We found out one of the biggest barrier is about technology, right? For hawkers that are actually working in a food center, they mainly are a less educated person, I would say. So when they talk about technology, to them is like, no, I don't want to change, right? So I'm afraid of technology because I don't know how to use it. So what SCash has done, not only just to simplify the technology to just step 1, 2, 3 for them to take the orders, and yet we provide educations. So if you don't know how to do it, come to our course. An 8-hour course to get you or to on board to digitalize it for you, and you get to go on the internet or the online platform, which provide not just the surrounding food for you, but the entire city, or even for dry food you can even do across border solutions. And this is based on the go-to-market sales solution that we have by this year of changing, stepping out from the borderlines to go overseas. Even food like durian, right? You heard about durian trade. It's hot. Everywhere is trying to trade the durian across the world. And that's where the platform will come along. Yeah, that's the go-to-market strategy change. Yes.
That's incredible. So the next thing you're going to be hearing about is connected durian. That's great. So I think for my next question, I'm going to go back to my colleague Alfie. And Alfie, just wondering if these insights shared by SCash and Alibaba Cloud, does this aligning with what you're seeing as driving technology trends within the ASEAN retail sector?
Yeah, what Se Keng and Edric shared earlier, they resonate very well with what we are seeing as well based on our research. For example, I really like what Se Keng shared about the importance of technology. In fact, that is very well aligned with our recent research where we interviewed several retailers in this region, and to them, all these digital technologies are no longer an option, but is a necessity for them, is like a basic things required for them to remain relevant in the business. Whereas the smart solution proposition shared by Edric is very interesting as well. I mean, like how innovative technologies such as QR code analytics are being used to simplify user experience as well as to address the dynamic changes in consumer behavior. And I just want to add a little bit on that as well, specifically on the key drivers of all of these retail trends. For example, we see one of the most important drivers behind this trend is the underlying technology, such as a secure and agile IT solutions. And we can see that the advancements and all the developments by technology providers, as well as hyperscalers such as Alibaba, have enabled these retailers to be more agile with their business and at the same time minimize the threats from the growing cyber attacks that we have today. And when we talk about technology, this could link to things like multi-cloud, containerizations, AI, analytics, but I guess we won't go too much details into that. And we also look at network infrastructure as another enabling driver, enabling technologies. And as we know, there was a surge demand in subscribers as well as data usage. And telcos and internet providers are doing a great job in addressing this surge in demand. And the last one is the government initiative. We can see governments, they are taking various proactive measures to drive this trend, not only from regulation perspective, but they are also doing a lot of grants and training programs to drive awareness and adoption of these technologies, especially among the retailers.
Great, thanks for sharing those thoughts, Alfie. So I think the next question I have is for Se Keng from Alibaba Cloud. And I think I'd like to hear a bit more of the details on the solutions that you are providing specifically for retailers in the region.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Malcolm. Alibaba Cloud offers comprehensive retail solutions to help retailers achieve digital resiliency in all aspects of the business, from back-end operations to customer acquisitions, for example, logistics to supply chains, omni-channel e-commerce, and etc. Right? And first and foremost, as a global cloud service provider, Alibaba Cloud operates in 25 regions with more than 80 availability zones worldwide. Right? We offer retailers the same cloud-native technologies that power the world's largest shopping festival, Double 11, right? Hopefully, you know what is Double 11, right? We provide retailers with an on-demand, secure, and highly available cloud platforms for any business requirements. And on top of that, with our vast experiences in mitigating online security risks and vulnerabilities, we can help retailers safeguard their online businesses and assets from attacks and frauds. That's very crucial, right? And when retailers reach a more mature digitalization stage, the Alibaba Cloud best-in-class analytics and big data solutions come into the pictures. That will empowers retailers with the ability to track and analyze customer behavior. With the solutions, retailers can aggregate and analyze customer profiles and make marketing and product innovation decisions based on the insights. Moreover, retailer may also integrate Alibaba Cloud recommendation engine for personalized recommendations to achieve higher marketing efficiency as well as sales conversion, right? And lastly, apart from the technical solution I just mentioned earlier, Alibaba Cloud is also helping retailers to extend their reach to the China markets. With our China gateway services, retailers may ride on the top e-commerce platform in China, which is Tmall, and even set up their online e-commerce portal in China seamlessly and swiftly. Yeah, Malcolm.
It's quite a comprehensive list. Everything from logistics support to AI-based marketing and even support within the largest market in the world, China. Right. And so just as a follow-up, I'm curious, what is the relationship and role of SCash in selling through the Alibaba Cloud retail solution?
Right. I think that's very good questions, actually. We are constantly collaborate with experienced partners like SCash, to offer best-in-class end-to-end retail solutions for retailers. Just to name a few, we are working with SCash Crossly for an e-commerce and loyalty solutions for a customer in Thailand, and also a new online channel for the world's best airport in Singapore. So it's more like, they are our close partner in terms of delivery and fulfillment.
That's great. So Edric, is there anything you'd like to add to that response, or about how Ali Cloud's helping you and you helping them?
Well, yeah, to simplify what Se Keng says, we are the extended arm for Alibaba Cloud. That's all. We're the same family.
Sure.
Right.
Oh, great. So then, just looking, Edric, looking at some of your customers, you have some impressive brands and names in the Singaporean market, like Changi Airport or Resort World in Sentosa, even Godiva Chocolates. I'm just wondering, what do you view as the most important way that you're supporting those impressive names, those impressive customers?
Okay. First of all, when we enter into this retailers or the customer base that we have, is based on the I would say the go-to-market initiative, right? Because with Alibaba Cloud go-to-market, we are actually built some of the solution, for example, like a mini program, to extend the services from the local to China, right, through the Alibaba Cloud. I mean, that's give a very stable platform when you have millions of people accessing into to the systems, and we did that well for both our client Resort Sentosa and Changi Airport Group. But with this extension, when I say this our clients saw the potential of SCash digitalization capability, and we extended our arm to help them, because most of the time you heard about IT department is a cost center for most of the company, but we're able to help Resort Sentosa to earn money with the IT project. So they recovered the entire IT investment within 3 months on that particular project itself. So from there on, they see SCash and Alibaba Cloud is a different combination, of the IT solutions. It's just not just cost, but it brings business to them. So this is how the engagement started, and now we are actually moving into their core business to centralize, to unify. I would say to unify their platform into a single platform, so that it's easier for a multiple IT projects into one single so-called entrance point for their management. So this is how our collaboration between the SCash and Alibaba Cloud to provide the services to them. Yep.
Oh, that's great.
Yep.
And so now moving forward to what we can maybe expect next for the retail sector, or for Ali Cloud or SCash. I'd like to ask Se Keng, from the Alibaba Cloud perspective, do you have any suggestions or recommendations for retailers or retail adjacent businesses who want to embrace cloud technology for their business, and how maybe the best way about starting that journey, the best way to start that journey, what that might be?
Okay, sure. Yeah, I would just like to re-emphasize again, digitalization is the key for retailers to remain relevant and thrive in the post-COVID-19 era. Retailers are primarily those offline retailers. They should speed up digitalization journey and extend their reach to customers via online channels. That's very crucial. And in addition, retailers should also, strive to capitalize on data insights to provide tailor-made customer experiences. While for retailers that we've already established both online and offline channels, unifying customer data, as what Edric just mentioned, and providing seamless omni-channel customer experience will definitely help them and promote much more excellent business resiliency, as well as accelerates business growth. I think for retailer to start, of course, come to talk to Alibaba. We are definitely have something for you, and we can definitely able to help you. Yeah, in that sense.
So yeah, it sounds like then SCash is a good partner then,
Yeah,
because like as Edric mentioned, they're getting the micro merchants even to start their cloud journeys. So when you follow up to that though, when you talk about the omni-channel experience, what is probably the most important part of connecting online to offline? Is it having like you mentioned, the customer data in one place? Is it having a single pane view for viewing the customers? What is the crucial factor to connect offline to online? I'd just like to hear an elaboration on that point.
Yeah, I think for real seamless, or O2O, or online to offline, offline to online customer experience, that the customer data is the crucial. So again, so that what does it mean is that the customer themselves, that must have a built or solid or at least proven frameworks or platforms for the data, for them to unify all the data, be it from the points that data, how the data be acquired, processed, and how the data be utilized. So and with that, right, in fact, Alibaba Cloud, we have best practices and frameworks that can work and that can help customers, to better manage and unify their data from both online and offline channels.
Great. And so looking to SCash, what do you think is next for you, Edric, in terms of the alignment of business and technology priorities? I know you had mentioned that your customers are now seeing IT no longer as a cost center, but driving new business. Maybe you can talk a little bit about how you help connect those dots from technology to a business outcome.
All right. We have one great experience that we experienced in Thailand. A new technology that we call it loyalty program, which is that we built for a client. This loyalty program not just only for the in-house use, but it's actually can do external exchanges. Meaning we are creating a loyalty program exchange house that from one merchant A can exchange with merchant B. So with this, even you can do it in cross-border, as long as there's a ratio of exchanging. It's just like a market share market, right? So they are offering out their points from merchant A to merchant B, so that this platform can trade. And SCash is building this technology, extending to all the retailers and F&Bs, so that they are able to. We are working with some of the organizations in Singapore and Malaysia as well to get this workout, so that they can actually do some so-called consumer database of exchanging. Right? Not only just on doing this exchanging, but the loyalty program in Asia, I would say particularly, has not been very actively used. Right? If you know that. One of the very well known is our Sky Flyers. I don't know, 5 points, right? But due to COVID-19, it's all stopped. And how are you going to spend the points? You're stuck because you're not flying, right? So we are able to get this point out from the system to exchange with other merchants. Right? This is how the next ongoing technology that we want to tie up with all the businesses around the whole region. And with this, again, because of the data can be retained within the same merchant itself, to help them not just to manage the consumer data on loyalty program, yet they can also use the same data to manage their vendor. Yeah, that's where the SCash, the next upcoming solution that we're going to do for.
Yeah, that's great. It sounds like that's going to build a lot of resiliency for your customers and value for their end customers. Yep, and as we know, resiliency is a concern and after COVID-19 for everyone. So that's great.
Yes.
Great. Now I think I'd like to ask Alfie. What are you seeing in terms of new technologies being deployed in the retail sector in ASEAN, and why are the retailers going for those?
Yeah, that's a good question, Malcolm. I'm trying to relate some of the key trends or key technologies that we are seeing in the industry to the technology capabilities by Alibaba shared by Se Keng earlier. as well as some of the business values shared by Edric. So for new technologies, so if we are looking at key trends that will be implemented in the next 12 to 24 months, I would like split them into two categories, like the shop floor and the back store, because the use cases, the usage are quite different. So for shop floor, we can see that AI-enabled video analytics is one of the key technologies that we often hear in the market today, because it can enable various use cases from customer analytics to safety and security, such as loss and theft prevention. And for video analytics as well, we are seeing a lot of developments from service providers. And some service providers are also starting to add this solution in their portfolio. And for other shop floor technologies, so we can see like some technologies around enhancing customer experience. And this would include mixed reality, such as AR and VR, as well as frictionless payments. And we are also starting to hear about metaverse, but based on our view, we believe that metaverse is still in the nascent stage today. And for backstore technology, one of the key trends that we are seeing is automated inventory management. I mean, like, we are hearing a lot of retailers are considering or trialing these technologies, and this would include other technologies such as robotics, autonomous vehicles, AGV, and digital supply chain. And all these technologies that we are seeing, this is also consistent with the recent study that we did with ASEAN retailers. So based on the study, ASEAN retailers, they are considering in-store navigation, traffic analysis, inventory tracking, demand forecasting, and frictionless payment as among the key technologies that they are planning to implement in the short future. That's all from me, Malcolm.
Great. So, when I hear analysis and tracking, it sounds like a lot of data.
Yeah.
So, it definitely shows the need for a good digital stack to support that. So, I'd like to turn it over to either Edric or Se Keng. Any final thoughts on the retail sector in ASEAN and how technology is going to be supporting the growth going forward?
Yeah, probably let me start. I think I would just like to take this opportunity, to urge retailers to talk to us, Alibaba Cloud, and because we are really confident that we can shed some light on the digitalization journey based on the experience we gained over the years, regardless of the digitalization stage of our retailers, we are always ready to work with partners like SCash, to help retailers advance to the next stage and grow their business. Yeah, I mean, that's all from my side.
Yeah, thank you, Se Keng. Yeah, for my side, simple. SCash is not providing a concept. What we have shared in my speech earlier is all product and solutions already deployed in the market. So you're not new. That's why we can handhold you. Even we can, we partner with Alibaba Cloud together with managed service to train you to get yourself into the new technology, because a lot of organizations or merchants, they're afraid to move into that new technology because they don't know, right? The question marks is, I'm scared, I don't know. But with us, with the SCash and Alibaba collaboration, we will provide the proper training, the proper hand-holding, the proper managing services, not just to bring up your businesses and as well as your people quality in your organization. And that's where our task is. Yeah, that's all.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you to our delegates. Thank you, Edric. Thank you, Se Keng. Thank you, Alfie. It's been a very informative discussion for myself, and I'm sure everyone watching. So with that, I'd like to close this, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.